Over the past 40 years or so in the NFL, there have been some amazingly hard, brutal hits, some legal and some not. As players continue to get bigger, faster, and stronger, tackles will be harder and come with greater frequency. The hardest NFL tackles can completely change a game, or someone's life. They can deflate any momentum of the opposing team with some of the biggest hits ever. In this video, we will go over some of the worst tackles in NFL history. Stay tuned. Nnamdi Asomugha. Widely regarded as the second best cornerback in the league during his days with the Oakland Raiders, Nnamdi Asomugha has shown he's not even in the same realm as Darryl Stingley as a complete player at the position. One clip shows Asomugha falling on his face as Victor Cruz goes up to make a touchdown catch over two defenders. This is terrible. He may be a top-notch cover guy, but this 27.3 missed tackle percentage of his is nothing short of disgusting and embarrassing. Darryl Stingley. Darryl Stingley was beginning his sixth season as a wide receiver for the New England Patriots when he was blindsided with a crushing hit by Oakland Raiders safety Jack Tatum as he stretched for a pass during 1978 preseason game at the Oakland Coliseum. A pass intended for Stingley on August 12, 1978 fell incomplete. That is when Tatum slammed into the Patriots receiver with his helmet, the New York Times reported. The hit left Stingley as a quadriplegic after two vertebrae in his neck were broken and his spinal cord was severely damaged, according to the newspaper. In his autobiography, They Call Me Assassin, Tatum wrote, "I like to believe that my best hits border on felonious assault." There was no penalty called on Tatum after the play. "I have relived that moment over and over again," Stingley said in a 1988 interview with the Associated Press. "I was 26 years old at the time and I remember thinking, what's gonna happen to me? If I live, what am I gonna be like? And then there were all those whys. It was only after I stopped asking why that I was able to regroup and go on with my life." Although Stingley was paralyzed from the neck down, intensive therapy helped him regain limited use of his hands and arms and enabled him to operate an electric wheelchair, the Times reported. Stingley and Tatum never met after the injury, according to the newspaper. "He has not contacted me, not even a mystery postcard," Stingley said in 1983, according to the Times. Jeff Fuller. Fuller was a hard-hitting safety for the 49ers who won the 3 Super Bowls in his 6 seasons, of course. Unfortunately, his career ended in 1989 when he committed a helmet-to-helmet hit on an opponent during a tackle against the Patriots. Fuller, on his knees, ragdolled backwards with his head bouncing off the turf. He suffered a broken neck and partial paralysis and was unable to walk after the injury. He has since recovered enough to walk, but he never regained the use of one of his arms. Patrick Willis. It probably won't shock you to know that Patrick Willis was coached by Mike Stingley for the first 4 years of his NFL career. It seems that hard-hitting icon, whom we'll get to in a moment, passed his knowledge about punishing ball carriers down to the former San Francisco 49ers star. In a 2014 anonymous survey of NFL players, Willis was named the 4th most feared defensive player in the league, and that was at the very end of his career. Pro Bowl wide receiver Victor Cruz once said that Willis hit him so hard during a game that he has still no memory and no clue what happened to him during the 15 minutes that followed the collision. Tim Krumrie. In Super Bowl 23, millions tuned in to watch the Bengals play the 49ers. On the 14th play of the game, Bengals defensive tackle Tim Krumrie attempted to tackle Roger Craig. His cleat planted in the turf and Krumrie's leg twisted under his weight, causing 4 separate breaks in his lower left leg, with only his skin keeping his foot connected to his body. In a remarkable feat, Krumrie returned for training camp the following summer and did not miss a single game in the ensuing 6 years of his career. David Bakhtiari. The Green Bay Packers went 13-3 last season, won the NFC North, and reached the NFC Championship game. San Francisco routed the Packers, though, 37-20 in the conference title game, and Green Bay enters the next season with several questions. Left tackle David Bakhtiari checks in at number 4. Last season, Bakhtiari had a rough start to the year, but closed with a bang. When everything was said and done, he allowed just 2 sacks in 1,075 snaps. Bakhtiari had 12 penalties in his first 12 games. Then, in his final 6 games, he didn't have a penalty. Bill Romanowski. Bill Romanowski qualifies on all counts. When a teammate says you're dirty, the contest is over. Romanowski, who played middle linebacker for the Broncos from 1996 to 2001 and Raiders from 2002 to 03, didn't just tackle the ball carriers, he snapped Dave Maggett's finger and kicked Larry Sanders in the head. He didn't just sack quarterbacks, he broke Kerry Collins' jaw. Ron Yary. When the Minnesota Vikings selected USC offensive tackle Ron Yary with the number 1 overall pick in the 1967 NFL Draft, expectations were high for him to step in and protect their quarterback's blindside. He did a fantastic job of that, having his play land him a spot in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It wasn't all great for Ron Yary though. Following the 1981 season, Yary demanded a trade from the Minnesota Vikings to finish out his career. He landed with the Los Angeles Rams, but things weren't quite the same when he got there. In particular, Yary's willingness to admit that the forced trade was a mistake takes a lot of honesty and respect for the Minnesota Vikings franchise. He wishes he would have stayed with the team and finished his career. Dan Dierdorf. In an earlier heart-wrenching incident in his playing career, on New Year's Day 1970, Dierdorf and his University of Michigan Wolverines teammates had to play in a Rose Bowl game only hours after learning that their beloved head coach, Bo Schembler, had suffered a heart attack, was fighting for his life at St. Luke Hospital in Pasadena, California, and not knowing whether the seemingly indestructible man had already died. Dierdorf, a first-team all-conference tackle for the Wolverines that season as a junior, took every snap on offense against Southern Cal in that Rose Bowl. That's how jarring, how ravaging an incident such as Monday nights is to teammates' personal and professional focus. Once his previously impenetrable shield of supreme alpha male toughness gets punctured. Rayfield Wright. Adding to an already strong sense of skepticism for the upcoming season was the status of menacing offensive tackle Rayfield Wright. Having been named All-Pro for 4 consecutive years, Big Cat was an established fixture along a Dallas offensive line that was perennially considered to be one of NFL's better blocking units. But at the 30 years of age, the buzzards of doubt were circling Wright, who was laid up at home during spring workouts, recovering from off-season knee surgery. In an era when knee operations claimed more careers than they saved, it was simply natural that rumors started to swirl about an inevitable retirement for the 8-year pro. It is safe to assume that Tom Landry offered up more than one prayer for his fallen right tackle during that long off season, not only due to the fact that Landry was a man of Christian principle, but also because Landry needed Wright on the field in the worst way. In an effort to give quarterback Roger Staubach more time and space in the pocket, Landry was installing the fabled shotgun formation into the Cowboys' offensive playbook for the 1975 season. But in order to prevent the shotgun from backfiring on Staubach, the Cowboys, Landry would need his best blockers to suit up on the game day. Lane Johnson. Johnson's play has shown he's one of the best offensive linemen, period, in the league, and 2019 was the first time injuries forced Johnson to miss more than one start in season since he entered the league in 2013, which makes the 12 games point feel like a false argument. The Eagles' right tackle called out the indigeneity on Monday afternoon in an Instagram story. Fake news. After watching these horrible tackles, which tackle do you think was the worst in NFL history? Leave your comment below. Please like and share if you liked the video. Remember to subscribe to see our next video. Stay safe and we will be back soon with another video.